Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Well, my dear friends, I believe this is an episode of Matinee Edition.
That's how to start it.
I always got to start with a little gurgle, a little something to clear the palate.
Yeah. Gin really clears the palate, man.
Gin really clears the palate. I'm, gotta say, this is episode 42. It's been a long time coming.
Oh, yeah. We definitely didn't record this episode last week and then
oh my God,
have technical issues.
Listen, dear hot dogs, I know you're out there. Matinee Editions, it's been through the ringer. All right, realistically. It's been I've dealt with all my life shit. Now I'm kind of getting a little settled again, so it's starting to look clear on my end. Podcasting up and running.
It's a beautiful sunrise on the horizon.
Yes, but then a couple we've tried to record this episode I think twice realistically, and both
it's one of those things of just Zoom. It's perfect for some things,
dude,
but sometimes recording audio just doesn't work.
It really it's nice for what it is, I guess.
Maybe we'll have to have a socially distant recording session. Get a screen, get a plexiglass wall between us or something.
One of us will have to go into a plastic bubble.
Okay, I can do that.
No, I mean, seriously though, it's this distance recording. The more we do it, the more I'm how long do we have to do this?
I know.
Either way though, that's not the shit we're talking about. Okay. I think Lucas is trying to get me off topic.
We're here to talk about bullshit and film,
bullshit and film and whatever is entertaining.
So I have a piece of news. We're going to start off with the rumor mill this week.
Ooh, yes, churn it out.
Oh yeah, we got to churn out the rumors once a week. So as we've talked about in the Lost episodes, that's what I'm going to call them. The Legend of Korra is coming to Netflix, but there's other news. You should watch The Legend of Korra because it is really good, dear listener. But in bigger news, in my opinion, the Avatar live action series has lost the original creators. Yeah. And they cited creative differences.
Yeah.
It sounds like Shyamalan all over again.
Very troubling. I saw that news also, and it immediately, for me, my immediate reaction was just not interested anymore. I'm ready to write it off. And that's because we've been burned before.
Yeah. They did leave it pretty gracefully. They said that they had faith in the people making it that they put in place. So I'm willing to be if it comes out and if the trailers look decent, I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, either way, I'm going to check it out. I know.
Well,
that. Yeah. I'm a sucker for that. But it just, I mean, it's just troubling news, especially the idea of creative differences.
Yeah,
because
it sounds like it sounds like the reporting that led to some of the shit, the TV shit shows that we've seen before.
Yeah, I think one of the creators I saw said roughly this. It has potential to be good, but whatever version ends up on screen, it will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make.
Yeah.
And that I was like, that sounds like a pretty harsh statement. It sounds like he's dancing around a harsh statement.
Yeah, it sounds like they could be he could have been an asshole about this and been really condemning to Netflix, but chose not to be.
One of the things that I'm really looking for in this series is to see if the choreography is I don't know, it just looks at least as legit as they made the animated series go.
Yeah, well, all the bending moves, even in the animated series, are very strongly based around different kinds of martial arts.
Well,
so
that's what I mean. I really hope that they kind of nail that aspect of the bending.
I do think like the CGI is here now. It wasn't there in 2010. And just like rewatching some clips where it's a bunch of earthbenders fucking going ham and there's a little rock floating across the screen. It's just like it doesn't look good then. I think it could work now. Like I think it could be fine.
Word.
I will say this is something else I heard on that note though, is that the creators have had, they personally, I think this was a separate statement they made, was that their interest in the brand or in the Avatar like property, because people have been so excited about it lately, they want to make something else still in the universe.
Oh, dope. I would be down with that.
Yeah. What I immediately thought was like, please make a Kyoshi series or just make an Avatar season 4. Like,
yeah.
Like I'm reading the graphic novel right now that immediately follows up the animated series. And I'm like, just animate that shit. Dude. I'd be more than happy.
Well, exactly. And like that's, I mean, like really, I think that's what fans have wanted. I'm not knocking Legend of Korra because in its own right, it's really cool.
But it's different.
And again, yeah, it's different. But what fans have really wanted is a continuation of the Aang story. Like,
and I mean,
from where it left off, really, because like it was never. I don't think it overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, which is perfect. I'm okay with something like ending.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, we're gonna do a different Avatar. Like we're gonna either go back or we're gonna go another one past Korra.
I think it would be really interesting to do a past Avatar. Now that we've done like a one forward, one or two back. You know?
The internet and like everybody's fallen in love with the little bits of Avatar Kyoshi we've seen. Oh yeah, like all the fucking memes are hilarious,
dude. A Kyoshi series would be fucking dope. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could even frame it as like Suki telling Sokka a story of the history, you know? There you go. You can continue to beat the misogyny out of Sokka.
That great character where he learns to fight like a Kyoshi warrior.
He's like, where were the men that captured us?
Like the dude's the dinkiest, like worst fighter so far. But maybe not like the worst, no. But like he ain't great. And he has the gall to tell these ladies who can kick his ass like 10 times over. Dude, it was pretty funny. Like him in the first episode when the Fire Nation cruises up. Oh my God. He's like in the war paint. I'm like, this kid's gonna be a fucking badass. And Zuko just kicks him like straight in the face. And I was like, oh yeah, he's out of his depth. Yeah, like I was embarrassed for the character in that moment, like so hard. You're just like, oh fuck. But like initially in the series, I was like, oh, this dude's a sexist asshole. But then he ended up growing and he had a really good character arc. But like, which is one of the things I love about that show. Yeah, all the characters have solid character arcs. Yeah, everything is very deliberate. Everything is very precise. Yeah. So I got this other like random bit I want to throw out here in the rumor news. Did you know that the New Mutants is still technically coming out? Yeah, I saw a trailer for it while I was watching the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finale. We'll talk about that later. I was like, oh, that's coming out in August now. It's coming out in a few days. So what the fuck is the deal here? I just want to like talk about this. It's coming to theaters. That's what I mean. Like that's what I want to talk about. Like I saw AMC's opening in like a few days. I'm not interested right now still in going to the theater. And I really want New Mutants to gross like $5,000. Well, then here's my theory. So they know it's gonna tank anyway because it's been such a shit fucking movie. It looks like it looks like it's gotten progressively a little better. I'll give it that. Yeah. But it doesn't look like it's gonna be it looks like The Conjuring with an X-Men skin on it. Yeah, I just don't think it looks like PG-13 horror doesn't really have a point. We've talked shit about it like a lot. But I think this is an excuse for it to do bad by having that be like an opening movie when theaters open back up. Dude, and I mean like whatever, dude, numbers are going to be shitty anyway. It won't look that embarrassing. And then also they can just like from a business perspective, that's a tax deductible right there. If that thing sinks, dude, fucking bastards. Fucking bastards. But I mean, at the same time, if that thing was just sitting off to the side, why not throw it out there? Well, yeah. I mean, that I don't agree. I really think they should just throw it up on streaming. I know. Like they're doing with Mulan. Yeah. Okay.
Although I wouldn't pay $30 for New Mutants.
That has gotten so much heat. Like,
yeah,
it's we've been debating it in my household. Like, we've been talking about okay, well, it's like if it's like a $30 fee.
Yeah.
Like I haven't read it much. Do you know if it's like a one-time purchase and you get
one
the
time
movie,
one time,
or is it just like a rental?
It's a one-time purchase, to my knowledge.
Okay. Do you think so? Like, do you think you get you're just buying the movie then?
Like you get access to it on Disney Plus.
Because that is my question. It's like
and
how long does that last? Like,
I validated it to myself for like, if I'm going to watch a movie with my girlfriend, we're going to go to the movies, like $10, $12 ticket, unless we're going on like one of the special days. Then I get popcorn fucking every time because I'm an animal. And
popcorn fiend, same here, man.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like, that's $30.
Oh, for sure, dude. Let's be real. Modern theater prices.
Terrible.
Hey, dude, you're lucky if you pay $30.
Oh yeah.
To get all your little goodies and your movie ticket and all that shit.
I remember going
the price tag as long as you get the movie. I was just like, if it's gonna be a fucking rental, like some others have been, like The Invisible Man was.
Yeah.
Like fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. For $30? Hell no.
That I disagree with, because it's like, I'm not going to the theater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, this I'm a little more interested in. I finally watched the trailer for Mulan.
Dude, Ming-Na Wen has to have a cameo.
I hope so. But
because you know she voiced Mulan. You know that, right?
Course,
okay, sweet.
Of course I did.
Taste. I have taste. But
it does actually look like it might be really cool. I'm not interested in those like Disney live action like direct remakes like The Lion King.
Yeah.
The Lion King bored the fuck out of me. And I know that's a controversial statement, but
I think most people agree with you. I feel like Lion King and Aladdin were just blah.
Yeah, Aladdin had a lot of potential, and they didn't. Here's
my thing with The Lion King is like the original one. The charm comes from the characters. You can understand their expressions because it's animated. Mm-hmm. You can't relate to the face of a photorealistic lion.
It's a little more difficult for sure.
A little.
And you know, one of the other things about it is that it's just like, I don't know. Like for me, there is just so much detail that goes into those old animated movies, and there's so much
there's a lot of nostalgic charm.
What I call art, and like that gets poured into those movies, and the brilliance of like how it turned out and how it looked was because of like the imagination of those artists, and like just to see like a bunch of animals as they are, like, but singing and shit. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, Mulan looks kind of fucking interesting though.
Well,
we'll have to talk about that when it comes out.
We will. I have one more thing for the rumor mill.
Churn it out. I gotta get like something some sort of churn sound.
I have one more thing. Spider-Man 3 is supposed to be called Spider-Man Homesick.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. Good call.
Dumb name.
I don't understand it.
Well, he's going to be on the run.
Yeah, I thought of that. He's going to be on the run, so he's going to be missing home. But like,
it's a bit too easy for me. Like,
it's. I don't know. I thought it was a little corny.
Yeah, it's a bit corny.
I think they're really just obviously trying to keep it in that wheelhouse of like home something.
Yeah. I have nothing else to say about it. So let's move on. Let's move on to our next segment here.
Fair
so
enough.
we are doing our little TV show of the week segment that we want to do. We're going to watch a couple episodes of something, talk about it.
Exactly.
Next week we're going to talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that just wrapped up.
Yeah, and that'll probably take most of the episode next week. Just heads up, hot dogs.
Probably.
I mean, such a lack of content coming out, in high velocity as we're normally used to. We might as well go through and actually get a chance to talk about like some of our favorite series or some of our, favorite movies or whatever. So this, we decided, start out with Breaking Bad.
Hell yeah.
I mean, why not? Like one of the juiciest fucking TV shows to come out. In the
what up, biatch?
Oh man, like So we popped. We decided to watch episodes 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, dude. Season 1 of Breaking Bad is sort of iffy at some points, but these first 2 episodes, I was like, God, it's like it's like, oh, it's so fucking good right off the start.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. Like the weight of the show immediately drops on you.
Yeah,
and like that first episode, especially. I mean, like the second episode's a whole different beast.
Yeah,
that first episode, like. It's aside from starting off with Walter White in his underwear, which classic Breaking Bad.
I actually think is a great way to start the show because it makes you like question like what the fuck has been happening, like what is missing.
Exactly, it immediately wraps you into like that mindset of like, oh shit, what is going on in this show?
Hey man,
but his life is just immediately bleak.
Dude, we were talking about like before we started recording, we were talking about how like sometimes America can sort of seem like this soul crushing weight of the world on our shoulders.
Talk to Walter White.
Dude, he is so depressed. He's so disappointed with his life. And it is just like the embodiment of like mediocrity on a daily basis.
Yeah, dude. And like, my God, like, I mean, and then the news of him getting cancer, of like having cancer, like hits him, and the only thing that the brilliance of this whole like scene in the first episode is him focusing in on the dude's mustard stain, and he like you don't even have to hear the doctor telling him that he has cancer. You just know that that's what's going on. Yeah, based on like the situation. Oh yeah, and then all he has to say afterward is that, like, you have a stain on your shirt, and you're like, dude, this guy doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like,
you like watch him snap. Exactly. And it's great. And one thing that I want to just like point out here is that like these first couple episodes, I was like, oh yeah, Breaking Bad is funny. Like,
it has a bite to it, man.
Dude, it's so dark and so bleak, but it's not completely humorless, which is one of the reasons I think this show is so timeless and is so highly regarded. It's not super sad and dreary all the time. It is when it has to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, we'll talk about it as we go, but that holds through the series like so well, and it has its highs, lows, and it has these like it's like I don't know, it has just like an interesting humor, like you said, all throughout, and a lot of that comes through the character of Jesse.
Fuck yeah, dude! Jesse's one of my favorite characters in anything,
dude. Like, yeah.
Same thing with Walter White.
I would say Pinkman will go down as like an iconic character.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Probably more so than Walter White.
I think so too. Yeah. I think his character is just like so pained, and as you go on in the series, and that's why I'm excited to rewatch it. It's just like he's so confined where he is, and he's like been fucked over one way or another, whether it's by himself or by other people not having faith in him.
Yeah.
It's like
that's the hardest thing to watch. It's just like people just don't give him a chance to like do
anything.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, what sucks about Breaking Bad is you're just like, oh well, this almost feels like it could be real. Like there's a level of groundedness, at least initially.
Yeah.
You're just like, if someone was desperate enough and they knew how to cook meth.
Yeah. I would say
like do it.
Most of that first episode falls into that like, wow, this could be like a real tragic story.
Yeah.
And I feel and that like that makes me a little sad on that front, because you're just like, damn, dude, this is like almost too believable.
Dude, and like there's like shit that happened like that in news stories. Like I found a news story where it was like a dude whose actual name was Walter White, from North Dakota, had a crooked lawyer on his side and was cooking meth. Like, boom. And I was just like, motherfucker, like it's not that far off. Like it is a TV show, so it's like it is a TV show. So there are these absurd moments like him driving the RV with his pants off.
Yeah.
But like what we were saying with the mustard stain stuff, where it's him breaking down. the end of the first episode, it's like, oh, like there's nothing that's gonna fucking stop him. He's ready to kill himself. He has nothing else to live for.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the most, that cut at the beginning of the episode with him pointing the gun away, and then you get to that moment expecting him to shoot whatever's coming, and then he turns it on himself. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's such a strong character defining moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I think what we were saying with Avatar and character development, it's like Breaking Bad is one of those shows that's also fucking king in that department.
I want to throw out this was another show like X-Files that was really honed by Vince Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan's a fucking genius, man.
Fucking genius. Okay, but really quick, let's also talk about episode 2.
Yep.
Just because episode 2, it kind of like drags you into that more, like it continues to have, you know, that heaviness from the first episode.
Yeah,
but
totally.
It's mixed with it stretches your like willful suspension of disbelief in a way.
Yeah, totally.
Because it immediately becomes like there's like a hostage situation technically.
Yeah.
You know, like they're basically, they flip a coin at one point to figure out who they're like who has to kill, you know, what's his fucking name, and who has
I know you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Like it becomes immediately like a dark episode.
Yeah.
And in this like very like it just goes straight, it just nosedives into the dark, like, and just like,
oh yeah, totally, which this show does so much.
Yeah, well, exactly, dude. And this is just like one of the first times it does that for you, you know. Well, I mean, there's that first episode where it's like a very realistic tragedy, and then there's this where it's just like
the ramifications of that tragedy.
Yeah. For sure.
And then
not to mention the gore waterfall, like at the
god,
this episode,
which I also want to throw this out here. Like one of my favorite things about Breaking Bad is the camera work.
Oh yeah,
and we're not there yet, but some of the crazy shit they do with like the glass floors and stuff, and some of that cinematography. Oh, it's gorgeous, which we'll see in the next episode. But
fuck yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
It's just like it's to such a high level of quality, and I feel like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and a few other TV shows really, they set the stage for TV turning into a medium to be taken seriously alongside film.
Oh, absolutely.
Where TV wasn't just sitcoms anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It felt like a period of time, like the crown jewel of television was Modern Family, you know?
Well, dude, like AMC for a hot second was pioneering a lot of like that. You know,
totally.
you're talking about Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Walking Dead, like
Boardwalk Empire.
Wait, that was HBO.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck me then.
That was the successor to The Sopranos.
Yeah.
They were trying to fill that gangster void.
Totally. Like, and then like The Wire. So was The Wire on AMC as well?
The Wire was HBO.
HBO. Okay. Well, shit.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole other set. But Breaking Bad. I mean, if we're talking about cable television, like Breaking
doesn't get
Bad
much better.
Was one of those shows. Like I couldn't believe the amount of like blood I saw on Breaking Bad the first time I saw it on TV. You know what I mean? Like
especially the bathtub.
Especially the bathtub. That got me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like the first couple episodes here really like immediately dive you into the character.
Yep.
The characters.
And it gives you enough of each character.
Exactly. That you want to, like, you know, it gives you that taste.
Yeah.
You just want to keep coming back for more.
Like Hank's a macho asshole. he's got an angsty son.
That dude plays like the same Hank. The guy that plays Hank. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna look it up. Classic Jared. But he plays that same character in just about every show he does.
I will say, and we will get there as the show goes on, but I think Hank has a phenomenal arc through Breaking Bad.
I agree.
I honestly, like, it hits a point where like Walter, like all the characters, excluding like one of them, has a meaningful arc, and you keep going and it branches off in interesting ways. So I'm excited to see. Sweet. Technical difficulties cut us off at the end. Grand scheme of things, Breaking Bad's awesome. We're excited to watch the whole thing.
For sure. Very excited. We also have been trying to fit in a movie of the week just for viewing pleasure and whatnot. What did we watch this week, Lucas?
So my recommendation, because you recommended Breaking Bad, I said, okay, first 3 weeks, you're going to watch some Mission Impossible movies. Even though you hate Tom Cruise.
Listen, I'll for you and the podcast and the hot dogs, I'll stomach it. So
we don't need to watch 1, 2, and 3 because they are completely disconnected. No. But so we start at 4, which is Ghost Protocol. And it's arguably the most disconnected from the ones you're going to watch. How do you feel about it? Let's just throw you into it.
Throw me into the fire. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It was like mediocre in my opinion. And I mean, Tom Cruise plays like a 75 to 80% part in that. I'm going to say that right now. Because I just think he's a shit actor. Like, I think every time I see a scene with him, I just think about how he's just like this massive Scientology creep who just like does these movies. He just wants to be like, he personally, not his character. What's Ethan Hunt?
Ethan Hunt, yeah.
It's just, Tom Cruise himself wants to be the American version of James Bond, and that's what he wants to be remembered.
Well, he wants to be the American version of James Bond and Jackie Chan combined.
And I just can't stand it. But if you take Tom Cruise out of that equation, and like just put somebody else's face on it, like while he's doing the stunts, actually kind of a legit movie. So that's where I'm coming at you with.
So I wanted to throw this out. I want just in the interest of transparency, I also recommended the wrong number for you. I should have said the name because I meant for you to start at Rogue Nation, which is the 5th one, but I accidentally said watch Mission Impossible 4, which is Ghost Protocol.
Okay. Well, and like as like an action movie, it has like
it's a well executed film.
It has a really good pace to it, and like I said, aside from my Tom Cruise issues, like I like the cast. Like I love Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg is a gift.
Jeremy Renner was really nice in there.
So Jeremy Renner came in this one. This was his first movie in the Mission Impossible franchise, and he was supposed to take over for Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise refused to retire.
This is what I mean about that man. Like I
know that's sort of infuriating. But then
Renner would be such a great successor.
He's perfect for that. He's actually I would argue that he is just as, if not slightly more charismatic than Tom Cruise. Yeah. But he's not a Scientologist, so at a plus. But
at plus.
he I feel like this weird nostalgia for this movie because I watched it. There's a huge gap between these films too. Like there's 4 years in between each release.
When did you first watch this movie?
Dude, like when I was 12. So
that makes sense. I mean, like I'm trying to grasp because I definitely have nostalgia for movies, obviously.
Yeah.
But
we're 10 years apart for the viewers.
Yeah, and so listeners. it's just I like to get that gauge sometimes. Like I understand that for sure. Yeah. I had flashbacks to when I started watching the Ghost Protocol. I had flashbacks to when I would see advertisements for Mission Impossible 2 and how Tom Cruise's long hair was supposed to be the coolest fucking thing.
Dude, and Mission Impossible 2 is such hot garbage too.
And it made me appreciate that they decided to move the focus onto actually cool stunts and well executed plot lines and stuff like that.
There's I mean watching this film, it has some fucking phenomenal practical stunt work, like the Burj Khalifa scene.
Oh yeah, well yeah, dude. Seriously, that's what I mean. That shit kind of blew my mind. I will say that.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that they let Tom Cruise do that. And which hey, we should have thrown this in the rumor mill. Tom Cruise and Elon Musk got $100 million from Universal to make a film in space.
You're right. We should have brought that up. Craig churn it out.
There's not really much to talk about there.
Anyway, yeah.
But this movie sets up what they've continued to elaborate on in the next couple.
Well, okay, guessing by the next title, Rogue Nation, I'm taking it. So Rogue Nation, that kind of I mean, in Ghost Protocol's initiated, and what is it? I can't remember. It's
IMF, the Impossible Mission Force.
This is what I mean, though.
It's so dumb, man.
Anyway, but they get disavowed. Like the entire organization gets disavowed.
They get disavowed like every other movie, though.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm sure I've heard that before.
It's either Hunt gets disavowed or the entire organization gets disavowed.
So it's up to like Ethan Hunt and his crew to like
his motley crew.
Yeah, to like stop, the terrorists and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, it's like that obviously sets up perhaps like them operating rogue in a
sort of
rogue capacity.
Rogue Nation came out. There was a string of films that all came out right around the same time. They were all dealing with like splinter factions of like a good guy group.
Okay.
So Rogue Nation came out the same year as the Winter Soldier.
Oh, interesting.
And they both share the fact that there's the Rogue Nation is essentially Hydra in the IMF.
There was a string of
insiders. And there was main group versus like big member of their team, whether it was like Transformers, like Optimus Prime is evil for one movie, or like Vin Diesel's evil in one movie.
Even like, Fast and Furious did it.
Bucky's evil for a movie. It's just like it's funny. It's funny that there's just this weird trend, and Mission Impossible does it. And I feel like Ghost Protocol is a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue Nation is a better movie.
Nice.
And Rogue Nation sets you up for Fallout, which, in my opinion, is going to be a classic. It's so well executed, and like especially with Rogue Nation and more so Fallout. They bring in other faces that are super charismatic, like in Fallout, Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah, fair.
And he steals the fucking show, and he like takes over that movie and makes up for the lack of charisma that is Tom Cruise.
That's all I'm asking for in these movies at the moment. Like,
they're just a lot of fun.
If they have to have Tom Cruise in there, at least put in like a surrounding cast that like makes up for his lack of like, being a decent human being.
Like they really start, like Henry Cavill shows up, they use him really well. They keep using Simon Pegg really well. Like
I love Simon Pegg, man.
Vin Rames is still his usual self.
Is he still floating around the series?
Dude, he becomes a series regular. Hell yeah.
2 thumbs. Sweet. Well, it's long overdue that I've like dug into these and actually, like witnessed what I talk shit about on a regular basis. So.
Dude, and like it's one of those things of like they well deserve their shit. But
Tom Cruise does. I'll give it that. After watching Ghost Protocol, I'll say Tom Cruise still deserves all the shit. But maybe my opinion on the movies deserving the shit is starting to change.
I'll agree with that because they are very well executed blockbusters.
Yeah, I mean they're big budget movies, but I mean like some of the things that happen in them pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty fucking cool. And I think you're gonna keep thinking of that. And like there's some little sequences in Ghost Protocol that rely a bit heavily on CGI. Mm-hmm. And in the next couple movies, those are like gone. It's like all practical. It's really impressive.
That's cool.
So it's definitely like I'm excited to see how you feel about Rogue Nation next week.
Hell yeah. Well,
and listeners, go ahead and watch it along with us.
Yeah, for seriously. Like is that one also on? I found
they're like all of them are on Amazon Prime or Hulu. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was watching them on Amazon. That's right.
So next week episode, we're gonna be talking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Rogue Nation probably.
Yeah, let's just we'll talk about the next 2 episodes of Breaking Bad.
Sweet.
We'll throw out. We'll just talk about them briefly next week because I probably want to focus on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, and because there's gonna be a lot to talk about. We might be worth doing a bonus episode on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That might be. We'll have to talk about that as the week progresses.
We'll get to it.
Well, for sure, we'll be watching the next 2 episodes, 3 and 4 of Breaking Bad. What's the next movie?
Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Mission Impossible 5, right? 5.
Yes.
Rogue Nation. Okay, so that's the next movie for next week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah.
What else we got? And the rumor mill. Don't ever forget.
And the rumor mill.
We'll keep churning that out. whatever the noise will end up being.
We'll make a sample for it. It's like a super gritty synth.
Either way, this has been episode 42 of Matinee Edition. I'm Jared.
Lucas.
You know what to do. Have a good fucking day.
Instagram, Twitter, go.
Oh, yes.